very, very important in the life, or should I say, in this very mission that we have embarked upon. The devil will do everything. And you are going to watch spectacularly how we are going to destroy and shame the enemy. That at the end,
Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Trust we're all good and you had a wonderful night rest. Hello, good morning. Echo Godwin, good morning. Alright, you're welcome to another episode of our newspaper review. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to click the like button, click the subscription button, turn on the notification bell so as to get notified whenever we're live. And please don't forget to make use of the like button and also your super chats. So on the Guardian newspaper, PDP Labour Party knock APC cover alleged plot to intimidate PEPs. And Nigerians spends over 99% revenue to service debts as inflation bites harder. And still on the sit-at-home businesses, schools open in Enugu as Mba vows to seal locked businesses. And Upcom's liquidation return to shareholders options for embattled Arik L. And APC shifters explain why Adamu was removed as progressive stock takeover and fresh concerns over cancerous sweetener in food beverages. A Nigerian confirms first attack case among animal in Suleja. And that's on the Guardian newspaper. Miss Priya, welcome to Good Morning to you.
Good morning.
That's your wonderful night rest.
Yes, and you?
Yes. Okay, so you're welcome. Alright, our newspaper today.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
So over to the Daily Trust newspaper. Access Bank eyes Maldives after buying Standard Chartered assets. And see on the Emefiele, Arewa leader in South, wife detained by DSS, relatives protest. And Yari takes over as acting APC chairman. And tough time for families as inflation soars to 7-year high. And food beyond reach is coming from the citizens. Kwara, Lagos, Kogi, West 8, Zamfara, Sokoto, bonus leads women begin strike in Taraba, and figures not reflection of reality. This coming from the experts. The next group as to Foxtrot and NPC listing, and GT named best in Nigeria by Euromoney. And 4 days after, NDLEA fails to produce killer of 2-year-old boy in Delta. Enugu threatens to revoke license of traders observing sit at home. Miss Pri, over to you.
The Tribune newspaper. High food prices push inflation rate to 22.79%. Story continues on page 7. FG confirms first case of anthrax in Nigeria. Story continues on page 8. Poultry industry on verge of total collapse. PAN cries to Tinubu, wants him to intervene in allocation of 40,000 MT of maize. Story continues on page 12. How Adamu lost out as APC chairman. His many sins. VP loyalist. Kyari now acting chairman. Deputy National Secretary replaces Omiosiri. Special convention to hold soon. Story continues on page 16. 2,300 ghost workers removed from payroll. 200 million naira saved. Abia government. Story continues on page 3. Ondo Council vice chairman dies a week after chairman's death. Story continues on page 2. Ban on sit at home. Markets, banks, schools opens as Enugu government monitors compliance. Story continues on page 3. PDP accuses Tinubu lawyers of intimidating judiciary in written address. Story continues on page 17. Custom intercepts arms, ammunition at Lagos port. Trucks import truckload of ammunition going to Anambra. Police seized 30 million naira cannabis in Lagos. Story continues on page 28 and 29. That's it on the Tribune newspaper.
And on the Punch newspaper, federal government grants 56 import licenses as food consumption drops. Government plans nationwide animal vaccination. And politicians flooding government house, distracting me. This coming from Akwa Ibom government. And audit reports names Adamu Omisori as Tinubu governor's shop for new share. Aggressive NWC members welcome Adamu's removal, and NEC meeting postponed indefinitely. Nyari, Futwa take temporary charge, and new leaders to emerge at emergency convention. An army intercept another bound truck with ammunition. Poultry farms shutting down over high maize price. And lover prophet to die by hanging for killing Lasso undergraduates. Suspended EFCC shares spends 33 days in custody, and that's on the Punch newspaper.
The Nation newspaper, we have database of 50 million poor Nigeria, says agency. How the $800 million will be transferred to beneficiaries. Story continues on page 4. Ex-army ship by Miami troops should crush bandits. President greets celebrated columnist Olatunji Dare at 79. Story continues on page 6. APC top positions why Adamu Omosheri lost at. Lack of accountability, poor leadership allegation cause of resignation. Kyari Fuanta take over in acting capacities. All Makaru Kekemeke may be replacement. Non-oil export neatened $2.539 billion in 6 months. INEC Tinubu Abuja resident not superior to other Nigerians. Varsity workers demand 50 billion naira in allowances. And that's it on the Nation newspaper.
If you're new to this channel, don't forget to click the subscription button, turn on your notification bell so as to get notified. And if you have any comment, you can join us via the link. And please don't forget to make use of your super chat and the like button. And so on this Daily Sun newspaper today, soldiers intercept southeast-bound guns, ammunition, and one truck heading for Anambra. APC suspends NEC as Yari Fanta take over, and Tinubu returns after AU summit in Kenya. Presidential Tribunal said PDP Labour Party accused Tinubu and APC of intimidating, blackmailing judiciary. And cities COAS promised to prioritize troop welfare, transforms military, and Nigerians' inflation rises to all-time high of 22.79% amid rising food price. Lose stakeholders endorse Uzodinma for second term as orders contestants to withdraw from race. And gunmen kill 6 in Benue, monarch in Imo, councillor in Enugu. And Emefiele's lawyers vow to jail DSS and DG for contempt. At the World Bank, federal government, Oyo government to mop up 1.5 million out of school students. And Dr. Eze donates 100 million naira to Ohanaeze Ndigbo. And still on the 2023 poll, it's up to Nigerians to decide what to do with our report. Is Supi the European envoy? Akpata delivers NUJ's Anyim Unde Memorial Lecture Tuesday. That's it on the Daily Sun.
The Vanguard newspaper, Naira dissipation, subsidy removal push inflation to 22.79%. That's on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. Emefiele, lawyers initiate contempt case against DSS DG Bichi. Story continues on page 4. Marketers begin fear importation. Story continues on page 9. FRC can only operate on federal roads, appeal court rules. Army intercepts truckload of ammunition in the southeast. our weapons against insecurity. APC crisis. Tinubu shops for Adamu's successor. Lawmakers scramble for Tinubu Gamja endorsement. Story continues on page 9. FG moves to evacuate overtime cargoes from ports. And from the sports news, Kanu sack Yimba coaches, saves Finidi. And that's it on the Vanguard newspaper.
Here we have a guest here. Okay, Mr. Oyowa, good morning.
Television news.
In other stories, some constitutional and human rights lawyers have filed a contempt case against the Director General of the Department of State Services, Mr. Yusuf Bichi. They went to court for what they described as a violation of multiple judgments and orders of court directing the release of the suspended central bank governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele,
Okay,
from the
Mr.
custody of the
Oyowa, we're
agency.
trying to
Led by Mr.
bring
Maxwell
you
Okpara,
in,
the
but
lawyers are
since
praying the
something
court
is
to commit the Director General of the DSS to prison for the
seems
action.
to be wrong there. Please, can you go back and try coming in again? And please unmute yourself,
Is this
please.
charge we are seeing, is that the terrorism offense they said Emefiele committed? So we have resolved, we are not against whatever thing that they are filing. So, but we felt that Mr. Yusuf Magaji Bichi, the director of the SSS, we want to say enough is enough. We have come to file from 48 against him. We have commenced contempt proceedings against him for deceiving, disobeying court orders. Nigeria is not a banana republic. We have had several directors of DSSS. He's not the first one, and he's not going to be the last one. So we are filing it, and we are asking that now that it's obvious that he has a personal issue to settle with Emefiele, he should go and sort it out. He should not use Nigeria. He should not use any sign, any purported offense of terrorism to sort whatever problem he had with Emefiele. Just like as I said, Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu was one of those that fought for this democracy through Nadeko. Now that he's the president, we want to call upon him as a matter of urgency. He should sack the director, DSSS, for embarrassing the entire world, for embarrassing Nigeria. Enough of this. This is one of the persons that made the government of President Muhammad Buhari unpopular.
Meanwhile, a judge of the Federal High Court, Lagos, Justice Nicholas Owebo, has been assigned to hear the federal government's charge against the suspended governor of the central bank, Mr. Godwin Emefiele. The judge has, however, yet to fix a date for his arraignment on a 2-count charge of illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. Our judiciary correspondent, Shola Shoyeli, tells us more.
He was suspended from office as the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, on Friday, June 9. Shortly after, the Department of State Services, DSS, arrested him at his home in Lagos, flew him to Abuja, and a day later, on June 10, they confirmed that he was in their custody for investigations. Mr. Godwin Emefiele has since remained in the custody of the secret police. After over a month of holding him without charging him to court, his lawyers and family members who had been denied access to him approached the Federal Capital Territory FCT High Court in Abuja to enforce his fundamental human rights. Following an application by his counsel, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Joseph Daudu, the court on June 16 ordered the DSS to allow the suspended CBN governor access to his lawyers and family, as this is within his fundamental rights. After agreeing to comply with the order, the court at a later date heard the federal government's application challenging its jurisdiction to hear the fundamental rights enforcement suit. In his ruling on the matter, Justice Hamza Muazu ordered the DSS to release or charge the suspended CBN governor to court within 1 week.
7 days have been given to the DSS to either charge him to court or release him on administrative bail. We expect him to be released on administrative bail today as we speak.
Hours after the court order, the DSS spokesman, Mr. Peter Afunaya, said Emefiele had been charged to court in compliance with the order. Meanwhile, another judge of the FCT High Court in Abuja last week Friday, Justice Bello Kawu, declared the arrest and detention of Mr. Emefiele by the DSS as illegal. Channels Television obtained a copy of the 2-count charge bordering on illegal possession of firearms and ammunition, contrary to the provisions of the Firearms Act 2004, as filed by the federal government against the suspended CBN governor. The offense carries a punishment of 5 years imprisonment. The charge has now been assigned to Justice Nicholas Owebo of the Federal High Court, Lagos, who is yet to fix a date for the hearing. Meanwhile, Mr. Emefiele has filed a bail application, insisting that the offense is ordinarily bailable and he is not a flight risk. In the meantime, there are no indications that Mr. Emefiele has been flown back to Lagos, where he is expected to stand trial. Shola Shuyeli, Channels Television News.
Hello, good morning. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Mr.
Yeah, good
Ayewa,
morning.
good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Francis, good morning.
Morning. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm
How
good,
was your
and
night?
you? Fine,
Yeah,
and
I'm
yes.
great. It was great with them.
Miss Kewe, can you hear us? Because I don't know if you're talking, can't hear you.
This waiting be an you don't back.
Mr. Ayewa, I'm back, but not fully back.
Okay, sorry. I
Yes,
will
thank
miss you a lot. Yeah.
you. Thank you very much. Mhm.
Sorry.
Okay, Mr. Maxi is here too. Mr. Maxi, good morning.
Good morning to you, Sister Kewe, and good morning to my lovely sister Priye. God bless you all. Mazonyewowa, I salute to
Odogu
God
Dalo.
bless you. Yes, sir.
Odogu bless you too.
Yes, sir.
Okay, man.
Yes. Mr. Ayewa, good morning.
Yeah, good
First,
morning.
good morning.
Sister, how are you?
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Hanzi, good morning. All right, Mr. Francis, can I give your submission, please?
Yeah, I greet everyone in the house. Good morning.
Morning, brother.
Morning. How is everything? How is family and how is life over side? How is your life over there?
We thank God. We thank God.
Yes. So, what is the topic on ground now? Mrs. Peace. Peace. Can you hear me?
Yeah, they are still playing. I don't even know these lawyers. Is it MFL alone is here? Or there's two in video here.
Okay,
Okay.
the first video was about Emefiele. You know he's
MF
yes, Emefiele.
about his case, his
Ex-
cost case, Abby.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
What about the other video lawyer? There's another one, two different videos there.
And they are talking about Emefiele case. You know, they've not brought him out to face trial yet. So that's what they are still talking on.
Okay.
And
Okay, sorry.
And the major thing now, I think, from what that video illustrates, is still the same way Nnamdi Kanu was being arrested too by DSS. And
mm-hmm.
from what they are saying from the court, or what the lawyer is saying, is that the whatever is filed against Emefiele is not legal. It's illegal. Yes. So they're like they should they're advising DSS to either put him on bail
Trial.
or charge him
Mhm.
to court. And DSS has agreed to charge him to court, and they are waiting to his case. So the main reason why I won't play that is
Let's
more like, I don't know if this DSS, I don't know, do they used to smoke for doing things? Don't they know what they are doing?
They smoke
you know
Igbo.
Nigeria DSS are all confused. They don't know what they want and they don't know where they are going to.
Because looking at it, it's the same way they arrested Nnamdi Kanu.
Emefiele.
They
Yes.
went to his house and took him out of his house. Like, just still the
Mm.
same scene that is playing out. Is that how they were trained? Is that the work they are supposed to do?
Kewe, they smoke Igbo. That's why they behave like that.
With Indian hemp and cocaine.
I swear. I swear. If the only
They
people
didn't
where they
arrest
smoke
Nnamdi.
Igbo,
They just,
if you
that
my
one is
brother,
the kidnapping Nnamdi Kanu.
my
They
brother,
did not
it is
arrest.
only people where they smoke Igbo will go behave the way they are behaving. They smoke Igbo.
Yes,
Proper.
abnormal people.
Very, very abnormal. Thank you.
Abnormal, yes. Let's watch and see the outcome of the case. When you are serving in a terrorist organization, anything can come your way. Emefiele is just a victim. Emefiele is just a victim. Why can't they go after the real people like Malami and his brother, that Fulani man that just left the seat? Why can't they go after him? You arrest, let me say you arrest somebody now, like how will I say it? I send you for an errand and the thing went back. If you arrest the person will come after me now. At least if you point finger, they know that Buhari is in behind all those things. Che Emefiele get power to, even though as a CBN governor, we know he has some power, but if the president did not sign for it, I don't think Emefiele should have carried out all those things. Emefiele, Malami, and Bawo all waiting, that Pepe man, that former EFCC boss. They are both they were both working together. They should not, if they want to fight justice, they want to fight, they should go after the three of them, the four of them, and pack everybody. Lock up, we know that yes, it's fair. You don't have to go after one person because you are afraid of others. No, go after the three, the four, pack all of them with Buhari, pack all of them. Let's know that you want to fight corruption, not that you want to go after one person and you are thinking you are fighting corruption. No, that is not the way they fight corruption. They are going after Emefiele now because they know he came up, he was the one speaking. Some people think maybe he was fighting as in he was trying to fight against somebody not to become president. That is not how they fight corruption now. Go after the four of them. Yes, pack all of them. Let's see how the outcome of it and see. That is my own take on this. Oh. You can't keep on detaining that man without trial. As you have said, okay, charge him to court as the court give them directive. Let's see how it will bounce out. And I don't pray that it should end up like this because Emefiele man said his hand was 10. But let's go to the root of it. Who was behind him? Who was he get to Ghana. Say Buhari no dey there. Buhari dey there, Malami dey there. And he was working under their influence. Like, yes, this one dey there now. Shey he get power pass Malami, CBN governor. They were just controlling, like you are using remote to control somebody. Anything you go to do, anything you control. You no do anything bad. No do anything bad. He was just under influence of Buhari and Malami. But let's watch and see how the outcome of it. Shebi no be the same DSS where court don't discharge our Nnamdi Kanu, my oga. Shey they hear? They no hear now. So anything we need. Shey we get court for Nigeria? We no get court. We no get law. We no get court. Anything where the leader want do, they will do and go away with it free. Nothing will happen. As far as say you know somebody, you give am bribe, say okay, collect, see how much I steal, see wetin dey on board, collect your own, ma collect my own, may nothing come out. Now so e go die down. Now say until we just dey pray, may God find solution to this entity called Nigeria. That is all. If not, this one na country. This one no be country. Just pray God should help us all. That is all.
Thanks so much. Mr. Yehuba, you have anything to say on this? Okay, Mr. Mazi, since Mr. Yehuba is busy, do you have anything to say on this?
Yeah, thank you, my sister, Kebe and Priye. My brother there, thank you so much for coming. And may God continue to bless all of you for this selfless job that you are doing. Mazi Onyewowa, Adabekele, our listeners and those in the comment section. Yes, sir. And those in the comment section, I say may God continue to bless you as you listen to us, as we make our contributions. We are not here to insult or to fight anybody. We are expressing views on what affects us as individuals and as an ethnic, or people that share the same value system, that have common value system. What affects the eye will always affect the nose. When the nose start bleeding, the eyes will begin to shed tears. That is how Biafrans, whether you are in the riverine area, whether you are in the hinterland, whether anywhere you are in the diaspora, that is who we are, and there is nothing that is going to change it. The earlier we understand it, the better for all of us. We need each other in this struggle. We need each other. That is why when I come out here, I thank most of our riverine areas, that people that are coming out now to support what is going to benefit everybody, including the children I have in Ghana here. So that is how it is going to be. We have to have a place that we can call our own, a place where people will not come, a place where people will not come and invade at will, kill and pillage, rape, and all kinds of things. That is a community, a society, a nation that we have to have. A nation where his foundation will start from the grassroots to the top, and not from the top to the grassroots. That is the kind of nation I want. Like Nnamdi Kanu said it in the past. I want a nation where whatever natural resources God has blessed you in your own state, you will harness it and support the central government and use it to develop your own place. In Ghana here, we say, if you don't like this one, what else will you like? Will you like a system where the people at the top controls whatever that God has blessed you on your own land, your ancestral land, your God-given environment? Why will you allow people from the top, people that you don't have anything in common with, subdue you, harness it, take it over, where we troop to the center to go and beg. And most at times, they don't even give you. Look at what happened in PIB Act they passed. Give us 10 to 15. I was asking for 10 to 15 to the oil producing states in Biafra land, but they refused. They gave you only 3%. The imposter that just left gave you only 3%. And you are happy to still be answering one Nigeria. It's a shame. Now, that being said, I have no pity for Emefiele. I have no pity for him. A man that goes into the bush and harvests ant-infested firewood, bring it to his house, invited lizard, fowl, and other animals to come and dine in his house. Do you know the ordeal our people went through when he introduced that currency something? Our people suffered. And for me, where I will sympathize with him is this. He was not doing anything he did on his own. There is no way Emefiele would do whatever he did that time on his own volition. He was directed to do what he did. He was supported constitutionally to do what he did. Remember that CBN has a board. So if a board takes a decision, how will you now come out and begin to fight the governor? Where is the president? Where is the president that he visited and the president said that he gave him order to do what he was doing? What is happening to him? Or is it because he's a Biafran? So for me, for dining with the devil, you've lost my sympathy. Whatever they like, they should do to him. My issue now is the reason why they are still holding Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, that the court has said, let him go, discharge, we discharge him. And a very stringent order was given that no other court in Nigeria will try him on related terrorism charges. Because the government of Muhammadu Buhari, the imposter at that time, knew that if they act for an appeal on the same court that rule in favor of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, that they will also maintain, they will throw it away. Overnight, they changed they transferred all the judges and brought in new people from a particular, majority of them from a particular ethnic group. An appeal, and that is how they got, a stay of execution. Until today, they are still holding Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in DSS. That is why I support Sit at Home. Sit at Home is dealing with them, and they are crying today. That is why they are fighting tooth and nail to find a way to destroy Simon Ekpa. And I will tell you that what Simon Ekpa is doing is the same thing Mazen Nnamdi Kanu would have done if he was with us today, if not because of that unfortunate kidnap. They kidnapped him from Kenya. They were the British connived with the Kenyan people and Nigeria and all the governors in Southeast, the politicians, to go after that innocent man. They are losing heavily. They have quantified, as we speak right now, how much they have lost during that sit at home. And I believe that this sit at home must be extended wherever Biafrans are doing their businesses. I support that. And I listened to what Gani Adams said some time ago, or a few days ago. Look, it is within the rights of every Nigerian citizen, as long as we are there, to carry out protest. It is their constitutional right to carry out protest in any form, whether by sit at home or by marching on the street. And it is obvious to everybody in Nigeria that even when you march on the street, you will be shot, you'll be killed. So that is what we should avoid. That is the reason why we said we will sit at home. So anybody that is coming against sit at home, they do yourself. You are not doing us. So that is what I have to say right now. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
And it's like network has kicked our people in the zoo out.
I think so, but the network is very, very bad. I think so.
That is the how would I put it?
The zoo, no? That is
The
what
zoo.
you get in attribute
Mr. Ayo, are
of
you
zoo.
back with us now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I thought the network has been disturbing you people. Yes, I can hear you right away. I don't have any much thing to say
It's over to you, sir. And
rather than what we have been shouting since all this while.
okay.
Our people must understand that if not for our leader Nnamdi Kanu, this thing that has been happening in Southern Kaduna and the Benue and co will be happening the same thing in our side, because we have common boundary with all these neighboring states in the zoo.
I can't see you. Okay.
So I want to use the opportunity and thank my Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in exile. He's doing a great job. God bless us very well and give us strong people beside. Any strong person you take out, another strong person will fill the gap. Any strong person you take out, another strong person will fill the gap. So, Patana Emefele and co, I don't have any other thing to say to Emefele other than Nigeria has happened to him. You know, whenever they are in power, like all these killers that are in our state, whenever they are in power, they will not see beyond their back or their side. They will just be behaving like zombie. Whenever that power is gone, they will be looking for people to sympathize with them. But when he was eating that money, giving order, doing anyhow, nobody. Look at the type of money that they throw away. Look at the time that they are trying to change their zoo naira, zoo currency. Look at the type of money that they are throw away in the bushes, while many people are hungry because they want to please the Fulanis. Our leader says, serve the Fulani and come back in shame. At least by the time they were done with him, he will think twice. He will run out of the country. I submit here. What is this here?
Okay, Mr. Onyewowa. It seems like we've lost Ms. Kewe. For the case of Emefiele, I don't know. Maybe it might end up, his case might still end up like that of Nnamdi Kanu, because now he's still under DSS control. Oh, only God will help them, Sha. Nigeria my country. Okay, we have a story here though on the Nnamdi release. You know, as at yesterday, we saw a video when they were like, if Nnamdi does not renounce this fight, does not renounce that he's not going to do it again, they won't release him. So they said not until he do that, they will not remove him from there. So he will be there until he's ready to say, okay, I'm not doing again. No more Biafra, no more fighting. Everybody should just stay as one Nigeria. So they say except that they won't release him. So there's a story here coming from um okay, let me go on with the story. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, go on. I
yes,
can hear
we
you.
can hear you. Go ahead.
All right. President Tinubu shouldn't inherit Buhari's impunity, violation of rule of law. Nnamdi Kanu demands unconditional release, asking that the government should immediately obey the judgment and order made by their own court of appeal and other courts directing his release. Kanu noted that his continued detention was a gross violation of court orders and judgment of lawful orders. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, the IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has cautioned the President Bola Tinubu led Nigeria government not to engage in flagrant disobedience to lawful court orders, which are the bedrock of democracy. Kanu, who spoke through his counsel, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, after the routine visit to the Department of State Services, reminded Tinubu that his predecessor Muhammadu Buhari despotic regime was characterized by atrocious, egregious and disdainful violation of the rule of law and positive orders of courts of law, asking that the government should immediately obey the judgment and order made by their own court of appeal and other court directing his release. Kanu noted that his continued detention was a gross violation of court orders and judgment of lawful orders. Ejiofor, who conveyed Kanu's message in a statement on Monday, condemned the ongoing sit-at-home which he never sanctioned, having in mind that those he is fighting to protect are the ones bearing the brunt of the effects of the sit-at-home. The statement read, "We visited our indefatigable and formidable client, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, today, being the 17th day of July 2023, at the SS headquarters, Abuja, where he is still being held illegally and unconstitutionally in solitary confinement. Onyendu was bereaved on another landmark victory we recorded in court today for one Ezegboti Nwanchineke, who was discharged today by an Abuja Federal High Court under our application/submission. After spending almost 3 years in the correctional facility and consequently fled this morning. The details will be made public in due time. Also, the update was provided to Onyendu on the ongoing preparation for an independent medical examination by his doctors, which information in respect thereunto shall also remain private for now. Onyendu was deeply worried about the heinous activities of charlatans who are unleashing havoc/mayhem on our peaceful people in the southeast under the guise of unauthorized sit-at-home orders, for which Onyendu for the umpteenth time, reiterated its strong rejection, disapproval, and condemnation of the activities of these obvious enemies of our people. Oyedu reminded those behind these criminal activities that by their ill-convinced action, they are speedily destroying the economy of the Southeast, for which the federal government of Nigeria will be celebrating and applauding them. It added, Oyedu instructed me to remind our people, and by extension the entire world, that 1. By the judgment of the Court of Appeal delivered on his appeal on the 13th day of October 2022, all the frivolous and unfounded charges/indictments preferred against him by the federal government of Nigeria were struck out and consequently died a natural death. 2. That the said judgment has not been set aside by the Supreme Court to date. 3. That the subsequent unprecedented order of the same Court of Appeal staying the execution of the same judgment which freed him and directed for his unconditional release was not founded on any known law or judicial precedent and thus remain unconstitutional. 4. This is present incarceration in solitary confinement in the custody of the SS is unconstitutional as it has no backing of any law or order of the courts. 5. That the federal government of Nigeria should be prevailed upon to immediately allow the hearing of both our appeal against the unprecedented order of the Court of Appeal staying the execution of his judgment, given the injurious and unconstitutional character of the order, so that a date can be set down even during his vacation for the appeal to be heard. The federal government of Nigeria should desist from thwarting the process incidental to the hearing of this appeal. 6. The federal government of Nigeria must immediately obey the judgment and order made by their own Court of Appeal immediately release Oyedu unconditionally. The Tinubu-led government must not inherit the atrocious, egregious, and disdainful violation of the rule of law and positive orders of court of law, which was the hallmark of Buhari despotic administration. And that's it on the story concerning
My sister Kawa, say, thank you very much. Say sometimes if you read this kind of news, they think they turn my belly well. You don't see that Ejiofor face to face to start with. You don't see him apart from a camera, apart from television. Have you seen him face to face? By men looking at Ejiofor, which type of human being do you think he is? Look at his body. He's using bleaching cream. His body is like Fanta and Coco. Have you seen that any man that is using bleaching cream is not a responsible human being? Anybody, any man that is bleaching himself is not a responsible human being. That is what I want to shift in first. Number 2, as far as I'm concerned, Ejiofor has been sacked. That Ejiofor has been sacked with the Mike Ozokome. Abi, isn't that what they call him? Mike Ozokome, right? They have been sacked, as far as I'm concerned. Ejiofor was the man that is behind the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu. How many times do you see that he mentioned this sit at home? He wants to quench Biafra. What these people don't understand is this. Wazirike denounced Biafra. Another person spring up. Ojukwu joined after Civil War. He joined Nigeria government as for democracy. Wazirike screamed up. From there, Wazirike denounced Biafra. Our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spring up. Then what give them the assurance that even though if our leader denounced Biafra, that Biafra is dead? Can't you see these people don't have sense? Biafra is ideology. Biafra is in every Igbo man blood, including you. You can never stop it. You kill over 5 million people. You are still killing people. Still, you haven't stopped Biafra. Well, how do you think you can stop it? You say if you denounce Biafra, what do you think? How do you think? These zoo people, I don't think, although I don't blame them. I don't blame them. The system of the government, that is the problem that they are facing.
Okay.
That's why they can't put 1 plus 1 and
Mr. Iowa,
yeah.
Mr. Iowa.
You
Okay,
you called
talking
me.
about this, I don't know. Have you guys discussed? Because I think my network, I have a glitch in the network or something. Have you guys discussed on this sit at home of it in that the governor went visiting Enugu market and vowed to revoke license of traders observing sit at home. So what do you have to say about that? How will these people feed if truly their license is being revoked? Do
How
you
will they
understand?
feed? How will they feed, right?
Yeah,
During during
yes, what do you
during
have to
COVID
tell them if at all?
during COVID-19, we keep going back to this during COVID-19. How did they manage to survive during COVID-19? The palatable, the food that they give to them, those governors kept it in their warehouse. How did they manage to survive? That's one thing I want to let them understand. You see, they said, our people said in their proverb that "Agụ nwere nchekwube anaghị egbu egbu," as in hungry, that person will hope tomorrow, that person where his future is bright, or person will get hope tomorrow doesn't fed up for today because he didn't see food to eat today. This thing that we are fighting for is for a main time. It's not a long thing. Maybe it's not a long sitting at home for long. No, it's for a short period of a time. You understand? You get the way where we go see our condition. We have to manage. It's just like when I was in the village. The time that I was in the village, when I was still small, you get the time where we know they eat 3 times in a day or 2 times in a day. You have to manage. That time we call it ogo. Maybe that time that they normally put food crops in the farms. There's no food at home again. During that period, that food stuff didn't come out from the you understand what I mean? That time that they used to put food, no food at home. Maybe that time we just put crops in the farmland. Food no the day that time. Crop have not germinate. We only manage. Sometimes by that time we roast corn. We can roast corn and chop and drink water. Everybody enter house and they sleep. Should I come and tell you what I will eat, what I eat by that day? So any condition we find ourselves, we manage it like that because we are heading to a bright future. You see, these people that are in Kaduna now, that they are killing their people, over 200 or 300 people. If you tell them to sit at home for 1 year, it will please them. So their life will be there for them. So for the governor to be telling people that will be sanctioned, there will be a sanction or something like that, he just met him out. You can't sanction them. He did not start business for them. He did not give them money to start a business. You cannot sanction them. Even though he sanctioned them, they have another way to succeed. I'm listening. That even though he sanctioned them, they have any other way to succeed because he cannot sanction all of them. How can he sanction them? You said? Okay, well, I'm listening.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. This is what I'm saying. It's easy. It's easy to go through some challenges when it's just for the period of time and you can see the results. And second, it's easy to go through some challenges when you know you're not in it alone. So that's what I'm asking. What do you really have to tell them? Not really stories. All these stories may not help anybody. So what do you have to tell them? What hope are you giving them? Because if they are going through this because of the sit at home, it will get to a point. Most times human beings get worried. It will get to a point and they'll be like, even the people that is making me go through this stuff, that are enjoying their lives. Do you understand all these talks? So what do you really have to tell them? What are the plans on ground for them?
I cannot. What I want to tell them is this: they should not get tired because this is freedom. They will know at the end of this race, the name of Chukwuokike Abiama will be praised, and they will go back and live as a human being. Because as far as I'm concerned, nobody in that zoo that is living as a human being.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nathaniel.
That is the only hope I have to. That is what I have to tell them.
All right, thank you, Mr.
Thank
Nathaniel.
you.
Good morning. It's been a while. Good morning, sir. Mr. Nathaniel.
You are hearing me? Good morning.
Okay, yes, I can now. It's been a while.
Can you hear
Welcome.
me? Okay, thank you, my sister. Thank you. Good morning to you all, you panelists, and thank you, my brother that spoke last. If our people in the East, I'm not from the East, but anybody that stands for the truth, I'd like to join that person, because those are our people now that are calling, say they be pastors and bishops and the rest. They are all nonsensical. I don't have any single respect for them. The only person I have respect for is Nnamdi Kanu, because he stands for the truth. What I want to tell you is that don't forget that every word Mr. Kanu said, we are seeing it like a video that is now playing in our eyes. And there is one word he said. He said they are coming. And he went to go and dig how Buhari, whether dead or alive, went to Sahel and called his people to come to Nigeria. El-Rufai did the same thing. They were trying to rubbish the so-called corrupt Goodluck government for them to take over power. And they succeeded because America backed them. And those of our brothers that is America celebrating that America is heaven on earth, or their children are citizens, they are citizens. The number one problem of Nigeria and Africa is America. Because if we go back to history, we don't know history. That is why Nigerians, Biafrans, Ijo, those, we are suffering around the world, no matter the status we have. Because really, they don't want to give us the right to really express ourselves. The only place we can express ourselves is still going to be that Biafra, is going to be Yoruba nation and every of our indigenous nation back home. Our people that are sitting at home, let them continue to sit at home. Because in Kaduna right now, they are running away from their home. And if our people in the East do not sit at home, one day the Fulani will drive them away. So that is what Nnamdi Kanu saw. So the people that are now portraying him, he should not be released, he is violent, he is doing this, do that. They want the Fulanis to overrun everybody. Look at Afghanistan. Afghanistan people, where are they now? Are there many of them not refugees everywhere? Don't even have, they don't think again now how they will return home. Because if they return home, they are going to live under Sharia, not normal Sharia. Sharia, when those people, the Islamic government that is there, the Sharia when they propose, you see that Sharia, you cannot make up. You see that Sharia as a woman, you can't operate saloon, you can't wear trouser. You see that Sharia in Afghanistan. That Sharia now, women and children are banned not to go back to school again. So if we do sit at home, our women can wear trousers tomorrow. Our children, female children, can go to school.
We can aspire, we can build helicopter, we can build anything. But this Sharia, this Buhari and gang brought to Nigeria, you cannot prosper. They cannot prosper. And everybody will not prosper with it. Let our people continue to sit at home. Because the truth has been spoken by Mr. Kanu. And we must not allow that truth to skip away. Even if they keep detaining him, we must maintain what he said. Because I live in France. I can't tell you what is happening here. But time will tell, because every one of us that is living in America, living everywhere, we will show the picture beautiful. Let me tell you, there is a limit they gave to every one of us. There are jobs we can do. There are jobs they will never allow us to do. There are offices they will never allow us to be. Because right from the time of colonization and slavery, there is a rule they rule for an African man. That man must not cross there. That is why in United Nations, the 5 nations that have veto power, they are the ones that decide what happened. In World Bank, where Buhari have now go and destroy Nigeria, we be taking loans, they will steal and steal and steal. That same World Bank is controlled by these same nations. The IMF is controlled by them. The monetary system where you do exchange rate is controlled by them. Where is the place of African people? Nnamdi Kanu saw all this. That is why he said we should not allow these Fulanis to overrun us. You see all these Southeast governors, these are our brothers, they call themselves governors. If people obey them, look what will happen. Their children are in America. They don't even care, even if their children fall into racism and slavery and so on in future or in time. But the damage they are doing now, they may not even live to witness it when it will happen. America is not for black people. These nations we are, they are not for black people. There is a law from colonization and slavery that black man will not excel. And if I give you an example, we are all proud of Dangote. Dangote is nothing in their sight. They look Dangote like those brothers and sisters who are passing through the desert. Dangote don't have a say concerning anything that have to do with financial system in the world. After all, the riches of Dangote, is it not in dollars? Who owns the dollar? Is it not Americans? So it's a slave too. Let our people obey sit at home. And after this sit at home, the glory of God will come. Nnamdi Kanu said it. He said everything. He said at the end, Biafra will come. Because Biafra will be a gateway that every one of us now will discover our own identity. We don't know who we are. We don't know where we are coming from. The last time I saw in a picture, the king of England, the new king now, went and gathered our kings, Oba Bini, Ooni of Ife, Sultan of Sokoto, and the rest of them. He sat at the front in Nigeria. All of them sat at his back. Do you know what that one means? He's reminding them, this is the way we conquer you all. And we join you together so that you people will be talking about religion. You people will be talking about ethnicity. None of you will talk about how you will build your plane, how you will build your space station. None of you will talk about how you will build your schools and roads. In your politics, you will be talking about this nonsense and you will never prosper. Our kings know that they are all foolish cowards. They are all foolish and coward. And if we don't want to remain as slaves, we don't need to obey our kings again. We don't need to obey our politicians again. We will only obey those who have saw the light. And that is Nnamdi Kanu. And that is Simon Ekpa. Because they themselves, no matter the nationality they have, there is a limitation they have in the society of a white man. And that is why they are fighting for you and me. And we must obey them. Let me ask you one question before I round up. The dollar they are talking about, say, you don't have for Nigeria. Do you know how Nigeria get dollar? It is the money we are sending home to pay school fees, help our people, pay health care. That is the dollar Nigeria have. Nigeria don't have dollar. Before Buhari left, Buhari opened the tap for Americans, French, and all the rest to be fetching our oil. As I'm talking to you now, somebody is fetching our oil and nobody is accountable for it. The same oil Dubai used to build their nation under 30 years. This Oman, Saudi Arabia, who is always Islamic country. I live in France for years. I've never seen a Saudi man working for a French person. It's an abomination. Is it not oil they are selling? Where is your oil money? And you wake up and be supporting Tinubu. Tinubu is Afonja. And those that are supporting Tinubu, they want to sell Yoruba more to the Fulanis. Yesterday, somebody brought in a video where they saw one Esani and one Ghana guy. They were trafficking arms to the east. They want to go and kill. Is that Nigeria politics? Because somebody want to sit at home, the Fulanis and some African countries are now coming together more to bring arms to the east to go and kill. So let me tell you, you don't have a country. The day Nigeria die, the glory of God will come back. And if Nigeria doesn't die, I tell you, the most populous black nation on earth is Nigeria. If Nigeria doesn't die, yes, if Nigeria doesn't die, the shame and mockery of a black man will continue, of a black nation will continue. Nigeria need to die. Biafra will rise. Yoruba nation will rise. Whether Edo, Ijo, and so on, the northern side, okay, so, all of them will rise.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Yes, I can hear you. I'm hearing you. I can hear you. Maybe the network is bad.
Yes, she's having some delay. When you talk, there is a kind of long gap before it will get to her. And sometimes it will just go off. Yes, just like now, it has gone off.
Okay, I don't know whether she can hear me now. Okay, before she come back, let me quickly say this. The Southeast leaders, whether Southwest and so on, they are not representing any of us. Because if they are representing any of us, they're supposed to come and say, my children, my brothers, let us talk, let us debate. But the kind of democracy Britain gave to Nigeria is the democracy your own brother who is a leader can kill you, nobody will ask him. And Britain, they don't practice it like that, but they profit from it. So their anger against Nnamdi Kanu is to make sure that those things he said, he will not realize it, but they are not greater than God. As we are talking, I think they are increasing visa fee, they are increasing school fees, so that Nigerians that will come to their UK, they are the one that will now be paying for their healthcare. That is what happened before colonization started. It was slavery because our kings were partners in that crime, and that is why black people doesn't have regard in their sight. That is the same thing that is going on, because Tinubu now cannot question that man, that young Indian immigrant who is the Prime Minister of Britain. Say, why are you increasing visas at the expense of our people? He can't say it. After all, he's a criminal. He can't say it. So let us be wise. Nnamdi Kanu has already opened our eyes. We should not remain the same, because those of us also who know the Bible, if you receive an anointing, what do you need to do? You walk with the anointing. You walk with it. You walk with that truth. Who? I always saw Nigeria ambassadors in the last 10 years in this place. When he came, he was shivering because the government in this local level, they call him the characters of Nigerians and so on and so on. He was trying to bring us together and say, don't be doing this, don't be doing that. If anything happens, people should come together, try to resolve it and the rest. He was shivering like a small boy. But you see, Catherine, we go to Nigeria, begin to use our national TV to campaign. We are in the grave. And the man that is bringing out of the grave is Nnamdi Kanu. And all of us must do everything to make sure that what he told us, nothing should escape. And he must be free. If all this Umba, Governor Umba, and the rest are calling the military to come and kill our people, you people that are from the east, you should devise a means to make sure, say, these guys, they will not enter Europe and America again. Because they are evil, in complot with the people that come to slave us, and we cannot continue to allow that one to go. We cannot continue to allow it. They don't have anything they give to our people in the east. There is no school. There is nothing. At the end of the day, civil liberty is not even respected. You can't protest. You can't sit at home. You can't do this. What kind of government are they running? We don't have a country. We don't have a government. And I have changed my prayer that those that are praying for Nigeria, let Nigeria happen to them. And I'm praying that Nigeria must die. That is my prayer. The day we die, the glory of God will come back to us. God bless you. My sister, I use my mic. Thank you.
Maxwell, take over now. Hence network the disturber.
Yeah, thank you, my brother Nathaniel. You just spoke all the things that I wanted to say. May God continue to bless you, my brother. We are in this same struggle together. I am not a full-blooded Biafran. I'm a dual citizen of Ghana and Biafra. And anywhere I go, that is my point and that is my position. The position that you have taken, all the things that you have spoken about here now is reality. There is no one here that we can say it is fictitious. No, it is a reality. What is happening is not fiction, it's reality, and it is going to happen. It is bound to happen. Let me tell you, there is a tweet now that is coming out from David Hundiyin. I don't know whether you people have heard it or seen it.
Okay.
We know come December 2024, Ghana is going to conduct a presidential election. And we have a northerner here, coming to contest. And there is allegations now. It is alleged that the Arewa Consultative Forum from Nigeria is trying to schedule some sort of support. They are supporting this, Muslim thing agenda. They are trying to do it in Ghana. And there is, if you go to Ghana, start GS, you will see GH, you will see STAES, GH, you will see it there. Yeah, STAES, GH, you will see it here. And if you go to David Hundiyin again, you will see it there too. It's like they are trying to solicit and influence the same thing they are doing in Nigeria in the presidential system, in the presidential election that just went by. It's what they want to support in Ghana here. But we assure them that they will not get that opportunity in Ghana. We are matured. Ghanaians are matured when it comes to democracy. I am not telling you that our democracy is the best in the world. No, but it is hardly you see people dying during election. When we go out, we vote as if you are going to your farm. You will, you go back home. Nobody intimidates anybody. You intimidate anybody, you will never have it easy in this country. So that is how far we have gone in our democracy. And we would not like all these people from the northern Nigeria to come in here and begin to meddle with our, democracy. It is not acceptable, and it is an affront on all of us in Ghana here. Because what is practiced in Nigeria cannot practice anywhere in the world. We are trying to curtail the excesses of these elements in Nigeria, and they are trying to push it around, Africa. It cannot happen. They should just stay there and make sure that they control their own and put things in place that a way that is going to work. And I see that that is very, very difficult to happen in Nigeria as it is right now. Now, my brother, thank you so much. You see, like you just stated, if Nigeria is a country that respects the rule of law, most of these things that you see happening in Nigeria will not happen today. If Nigeria is a country that upholds meritocracy, fairness, equity, and justice, you will not see people like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu coming out to fight for his own people and the total marginalization and subjugation of his people. You will see him. If Nigeria operates in a human, based system, you won't see people like Sunday Igboho coming out. You won't see a Duduwa Republic coming out because they lack these characteristics of a nation. That is why. And religion, look, let me tell you, my people, religion. I have been to Saudi Arabia. I escorted Abacha, let Abacha, his children, Mahmoud Abacha, Mohammed Abacha, and the rest of them to Saudi. Yes, Saudi can practice Sharia because that place, they have same value system. Same thing holds them together. And what holds them is religion. Iran can do same. Syria can do same. But in Nigeria, where you have, let's say, 60%, 40% Christian, Muslim, or 60%, 40%, vis-a-vis, it can never happen. It can happen because all these two particular religions are they are in parallel with each other. They can never meet. They cannot meet. That is the reason why one is trying to subdue the other, while the other one is trying to, wake up and fight. And when the other one that is stronger, they will use state actors and begin to suppress the others, and nothing will happen. I was a military man.
Brother Mass, network is lost.
Kewa, it's like the network is still disturbing Kewa and
Yes.
Priye.
Thank you, Mr. Matthew.
Thank you.
Yeah, yes, sir. We have, is it Mepmiye or something? I don't know if I pronounced that correctly.
Network is boring. Network is boring.
into their states. We're talking about the expansion and the decongestion of Faga and Obiakpor. This project will bring new city into Port Harcourt.
Very, very careful. The next 2 weeks will be very pivotal. Next 2 weeks will be very, very important in the life, or should I say, in this very mission that we have embarked upon.